Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of the Gilded City. We're very happy to have you back. Unfortunately, if you missed at the end of the last time, Eva, who plays Janara, will not be with us for this episode, but she will be back for episode 9. We've got another great episode here for you today. As always, go ahead and leave us a comment about your favorite part of the episode. Follow us on social media at Rollers Guild D&D. Sorry, on Twitter and Instagram. Leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, all that normal stuff. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, follow the podcast. Leave us a rating, share with people you think would like it. We would really, really appreciate it. Without further ado.
I do have a question.
You have a question?
If I were to point to our social medias, would I be pointing this way or this way?
So you would be pointing to the other way, that way.
This way?
I think we'll see how
or
Zoom renders the video, but I believe that is the correct direction. So. With that, we will go ahead and get started. Last time, Octavia received a message from Freedom, letting our heroes know that they are free to move forward with plans against Ovina Bloodkith. After coordinating a meeting at Janara's house for that evening, everyone proceeded to take care of their individual matters. That evening, everyone gathered once again at Janara's to start planning for the eventual break-in of Bloodkith Textiles' corporate offices. As everyone left for the evening, Janara received a troubling message that her parents were in trouble, prompting her to leave town immediately, with only Artemis aware of Janara's sudden departure. And with that, we'll go ahead and get going on tonight's episode. So, Octavia has an interview with Ovina Bloodkith scheduled for the 22nd. It was night of the 18th at the end of last session. So you've got a few days until Octavia's interview with Ovina Bloodkith, which, if I understand your plan correctly, you're not going to make any major moves to heist this place until after the interview. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, as a group, you all have a few days to do any scouting out you want to do in the meantime, as well as anything else that you each individually might want to do. So, I'm actually going to toss it to you all. What are people doing over the next few days? And, of course, we'll go through things as we need to go through things. We'll break out into little scenes as necessary.
One thing Penny wants to do is she wants to go to the city archives to try to look through old building plans of what the office building used to be and any construction permits that might have been submitted.
Great. Yeah. Okay, great.
Octavia will go with her.
Octavia will go with her. Great. Yeah, the two of you head to the city archives once again, which you recently spent quite some time at. I would imagine this is just on the 19th, just the next day.
Yep.
So the two of you head there, and you start looking into building records in the location that the corporate offices currently are at. So based on, you're very specifically trying to find public records of what was there before. You're not trying to get information about the building that currently stands there. Is that correct?
If they have information on the building, that would be interesting, but I'm also interested in what it looked like before.
Okay.
Like any permits that have been pulled for it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe Penny is focusing on like historical documents that like what used to be there, but Octavia would be looking for like what has been documented as upgraded.
Yeah. So Octavia's looking for the current building and Penny's looking for historical stuff. So the current building is, because it's a private corporation, is not necessarily publicly accessible. But you may still be able to convince the person at the desk to give you access to that.
That is a breach of librarianship.
Wow.
Sorry, we're breaking your code.
The ALA will hear about this.
So Penny, you get let into the room with historical building records. I want you to go ahead and make an investigation check for me as you're looking through stuff. In the meantime, Octavia, you approach the desk and there's a woman working there, probably in her early 30s. Yes. How can I help you?
Yeah, I was looking for any information that you might have on building records or renovation records for the Bloodkith textiles company, the office building specifically.
Well, all construction records do have to be logged here at City Archives. Unfortunately, private corporations' construction records are not publicly accessible to the general public without written permission from the company or from the higher governmental officials of the city.
I had to figure out which one I want to use. Can I cast suggestion?
You certainly may. I would like you to make a sleight of hand check to cast it without getting noticed.
Ooh, not bad. Natural 19, so that's a 21.
Okay. Yeah. You're like, okay. Pulling out my camera is too obvious. I gotta cast it without pulling up my camera.
Yep.
And so, though it's unusual for you, you do cast it using your hands, which is unusual, just sort of down below the counter. And you cast suggestion. So give me 1 second.
Yes, and I'm gonna say, well, as a reporter, I think that you can let me look at these records. And it's a wisdom saving throw.
What's the DC?
14.
Okay. Her eyes go a little glassy. Yes, of course. Can I just see your reporter ID?
Oh, yes, of course. I pull out my little badge.
Right this way.
You keep it on a lanyard.
A retractable lanyard. Attached to my camera bag.
There
so it's on a lanyard.
No, it's on a little leather strap. Not a lanyard.
A lanyard.
is smaller than a lanyard. It won't go around a neck.
It's a collar.
She leads you off, brings you to a private reading room, and then heads off to get the blueprints. Penny, what was your investigation check?
14.
14. You spend quite some time looking through building records. Eventually you do find a couple of things. Eventually, but it takes quite a while. Prior to Bloodkith Textiles being built on the current plot of land where it's located, the location had been a small bank. After being bought up by some of the larger banks, all of the valuable things that were in there were removed and taken to a larger bank, because again, it was bought up. And then the building was scheduled for, then the larger bank that bought it out sold off the property to the highest bidder, which was Bloodkith Textiles. Bloodkith Textiles received permits for a demolition of the building because they wanted to build their own permanent offices there, because Bloodkith Textiles had formerly been, had their corporate headquarters way up in the city of Mirabar, but thought that relocating their corporate offices to the city of Waterdeep would be more beneficial as a major trade hub. That's what you have found. And you do find one other piece with 14, I would say, which is that though originally the building was scheduled for total demolition, after Ovina took over the company, she decided that she actually liked some of the architectural features of the building, so just instead opted for a major renovation as opposed to a full demolition. So originally the building was scheduled to be demolished, but instead just got renovated. You do not find floor plans for the bank that existed before, though the knowledge that it had formerly been a bank might give you pieces of information that you could use.
Vault.
Maybe that's
Octavia,
where they keep the troll.
Octavia, you are eventually brought the actual blueprints of the building, which I will send you an actual map of the building. Not right this second, but I'll send it to you in the next couple days, so you have a chance to look at it. But to give you an idea of what you see, looking at the floor plan, there are 3 main floors, and then there's a basement. So roughly speaking, the first floor is divided into sort of the main lobby area, which has some waiting rooms adjoining it, as well as the reception offices adjoining it. The reception office is located behind the reception desk, in between the 2 staircases going up to the second level in the huge, ostentatious lobby. There is then sort of behind the scenes on the first floor, in some of the non-publicly accessible areas of the first floor, there's the security wing, within which are the main security offices and security break room, as well as the security chief's office, as well as a large chamber, which is labeled as high security holding, which Octavia could probably make a decent guess as what might be in high security holding, given what she knows. The other main area of the first floor is sort of at the back of the first floor, at the back side of the building, is the shipping and mail area. This is where the loading dock is, as well as the mail room, and then a room labeled pneumatic controls. The second floor, you've got three main sections. You've got the sales wing, which obviously has the chief of sales offices, offices for various sales clerks, as well as sales records. There's the marketing wing on the second floor. Chief of marketing offices is there, which you've been in that office, as well as various marketing staff offices and the marketing conference room and / showroom. And then as well as the third sort of section of the second floor is the shipping department. So there's obviously the actual place where things come in and out in the shipping area of the ground floor, but then there's the actual shipping offices on the second floor, which has the chief of shipping's office, and then various shipping regional managers' offices, and then shipping records. Also, I forgot to mention on the first floor, second floor, and third floor is in sort of the back of all three floors and the basement is a freight elevator located near what on the first floor, what would be near the loading docks. The third floor, there is also divided up into roughly three wings. There's the design wing, and as a textile company, design is important. So there is the design wing. So there's the chief of design's offices, the design conference room, and then a large open-ended area called the design space, which you would imagine is sort of a fancy way of saying just offices for other design staff. There's then also the finance wing is located on the third floor. Unlike the first two floors, which are both open to the large entry atrium, the third floor is not open to that. It's located above that area. The finance offices are there, so the chief of finance has their office there. Finance offices, also finance bookkeeping is located up there, as well as the company safes are located in the finance department. And then there's the executive suite on the third floor, which has the CEO's office, the office for the executive assistant to the CEO, and the boardroom, all located in the executive suite.
Do we know who Ovina's executive assistant is? We haven't met them.
I've not met Ovina's executive assistant yet. Down in the basement of the building, there's, of course, electrical rooms, there's heating and plumbing, control rooms, some general storage rooms. There's also the offices for the janitorial team, and the offices for the maintenance team, including an area located, including an area notated as repair room. And then located in several different areas of the building, you find, bathrooms. This building obviously has indoor plumbing, and kitchenettes located in a couple different places throughout the building too. So that's, like I said, I'll send you, Kira, an actual full floor plan within the next few days. But
Okay.
that just gives you an idea of what you find.
Awesome.
Great.
Do I know any changes that have been made in the last couple years, I guess.
The floor plan that you have in front of you, you believe is the most up-to-date information filed with the city offices.
Okay.
Great. What are other people doing?
Nix wants to. I want to buy a forgery kit.
Okay.
I think that this might be beneficial.
Okay. Do you want to? So obviously, forgery kits not just generally like sold, at shops or anything like that. So would you just go straight to Vinny's organization, or would you try to find somewhere
No,
else?
I'm gonna try to find somewhere else first.
Okay. So I would like you to make a investigation check for me, because a couple of the places that you are familiar with that you checked previously for the component pouch were closed.
Right.
So
I got a 24.
24 will be good enough. You do eventually find, so the Undercliff ward where you live doesn't. I mean, there are criminal elements in the Undercliff ward, as there are in pretty much every ward of the city. But unlike in places like the Dock ward, where there's a strong organized crime presence, most of the criminal outfits in the Undercliff ward have traditionally been very independent. But a lot of those independent places, like I said, that you looked at before, were closed down. But you do eventually find, through the right combination of things, you do eventually find a sort of a back room, black market dealer. Another, actually a gnome like you. Hey, how's it going there? Today.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I was looking, or I was wondering, do you have a kit for forging documents or copying people's handwriting, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I could probably hook you up. Give me a second to look around. And at that moment, there's a bang on the door. It's like, shit. Just duck by the counter here real quick. Might be the cops. Yeah, come on in.
Please be cops.
The door opens. And Nix, do you try to like peek sneakily, or are you just completely?
I sure do.
Okay, make a stealth check for me to sneak. I'll say with advantage because you're very small, hiding behind this counter.
Roll a 9 and an 8.
For a total of
14.
not bad. Okay. A couple of human, very brutish human dudes walk in. They are not wearing police uniforms. You got Hathaway's money? Yeah, I'm working on getting Hathaway's money. Don't you worry about me. I will get Hathaway his money in my own damn time. Well, just be careful there. Hathaway isn't a patient man, and if he doesn't get his payment soon, you may find that your business goes the way of several of the others recently. Yeah, I hear you. I'll get you your payment by tomorrow, right? Just tell your boss I'll get him his payment by tomorrow.
While I'm back there, do I see any ledgers that might tell me who this Hathaway might be?
Making an investigation check. Really quick.
14.
14, you don't, not with a quick glance. I mean, you would imagine that, right, as this is sort of a black market dealer type guy, it's not going to be in an easy
Right.
place to find. All right, well, you better be good for that money tomorrow, Cockabee. You know what happens
What
to
was
people
his
who
name?
cross Hathaway. And these two human guys leave.
What was his name?
Cockabee.
Cockabee and Anne Hathaway. It's incredible.
Just Hathaway. I don't want to imply that the
Not in my notes.
the well-known performer Anne Hathaway, actor extraordinaire Anne Hathaway, is involved in organized crime of any kind.
And if you're watching this, we love you.
And if you're watching this, we love you, and we would love a shout out from you, Anne Hathaway.
For sure.
That would be amazing. Anyway, Cockabee says to you, Nix, all right, you can get out from behind the counter there. Sorry about that. Just some unpleasant business as of late.
I understand.
All right. Yeah, I can get you a kit for forging documents and the like. That'll be. And he actually pulls out a little. He pulls something out of a pocket of his coat and flips through a small booklet. And he looks up at you. He looks down at his booklet.
Cockabee, no.
20 talents.
I slowly count out 15 and put it on the counter and maintain eye contact with him and pause until he's like a little uncomfortable, and then I slowly pull out the other 5. Like, I know this is overpriced, but
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate your business.
hope your luck turns around.
Yeah, me too, kid. Me too.
Well, have a good day.
And you leave Cockabee's shop. Anything else you would like to do?
We're just gonna, whenever I'm at work, gonna keep listening, see if I hear anything.
Great. I'll have you make, let's see, between now, you would be working, so you'd be working the 19th to and the 21st before this day. The 20th would be your 1 day, a 10-day off. So I'll have you roll 2 perception checks and see if you hear anything interesting.
I'm gonna say I got okay, we're doing this slightly out of order
Okay.
in terms of my timeline, but I got 16 and a 22.
16 and a 22. Okay. 16, you hear a little bit, but nothing out of the ordinary. Just your boss is talking about something that happened in the factory earlier that day, with a perceived slowdown on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Just a conversation between him and one of the foremen, like, Well, you're gonna have to get them to work faster. I mean, we have deadlines to meet. And the foreman being very much like, I've, of course, sir, we're doing our best. The workers say they're moving as quick as they can. And your boss, of course, saying something you've stopped saying, well, I know that's not the truth because a few days ago they were moving about 2 times as quick as they're moving today. So I don't know what's causing the slowdown, but I need you to stop it.
Do I know anything about, like, I don't work on the line, but have I heard people complaining that something's not working or?
Go ahead and make a perception check, but instead of wisdom based, this is going to be charisma based.
I do declare, make a
Same thing.
perception check.
I do.
If I'm proficient with perception.
So if you're basically this is just if you're proficient with perception, still add your proficiency bonus, but you're going to use your charisma bonus instead of your wisdom bonus.
I got a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
Not anything you've heard of.
Okay. Have I heard about the line slow down just in general?
So that was
the first
that
one.
would have
Okay.
been the same roll would have gotten you that information.
Can I go find my boss?
Sure, that was day one.
Yeah.
We can return to the 21st in a minute. But yeah, you can go find your direct supervisor, Disa.
Hey, Disa, I overheard some of the line workers talking about how the machines were working slow today. Is there something we need to fix?
Make a persuasion check.
19.
19. Nothing wrong with any of the machines.
Oh.
Workers are acting up.
Oh. I was just really hoping there was something that I could fix. Like, I really want to work on one of the big machines.
I appreciate your interest in doing your job well. Just focus on the work that we have here in our department. Let the folks over on the line manage the workers over there.
Okay, well, let me know if one of the machines is actually acting up because I want to see how it works.
All right, Leslie. All right.
Very excited.
The other day,
Yes.
which you got a 22 on.
Yes.
This is the 21st, the day before your meeting. As you're walking by, you hear well, what do you mean I'm expected to yes, I understand. I'm a little confused. We've been meeting, we've been meeting our deadlines here. And, I don't understand how the company being short is my fault. We are meeting our deadlines. That's what you get.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know if anybody else would spend the 10th day, the day off, snooping around the headquarters, but that's what I am also going to do besides go get my forgery kit.
Okay, is anybody else doing snooping around the headquarters on that day? Because I know there were a couple other people interested in possibly snooping around the headquarters.
Bowman would be.
Bowman would be. Artemis? Is that something
Oh,
you
is
would
that
be
is that when we're going?
It
It's
could be the three of you could
before.
coordinate to meet up together to do that.
That was on the 19th or the 20th?
20th.
That would have been
20th.
on the 20th. The snooping around the headquarters would have been on the 20th.
I just want to go talk to people.
Okay. So it
Oh,
sounds
I
like
think,
several.
I think, yeah, Bowman and Artemis were gonna go at night.
Oh, right.
I
Yeah.
think Octavia was going to try and get like a janitor's uniform from the paper if they use the same service as the
Oh, okay. So Octavia was going to look into that. Okay.
for Nyx.
Right.
Okay. Yes. So Bowman and Artemis are going in some evening. They're going to go snoop around the area outside of the corporate offices. Nyx wants to go kind of probably during the day, right, and start and
Yeah.
talk to people in the area. And then Octavia is looking into some uniform information. Okay, great. As a quick pause on all your plans, of course, payday does roll around.
Oh, Lord.
Payday.
Money,
Yes.
money.
So, Nyx and Bowman, of course, you are the poorest of the group, so you get the saddest paychecks. Nyx, 10 talents. Bowman, you skipped a day of work. You get 8 talents and 5 shards.
Shards are silver, right?
Yes, yes. Penny, you of course get 25 talents after deducting your share of the bills. Octavia, 200 talents for your paycheck. And now we come to Artemis. Now, Artemis, you have been attempting to do a better job at your actual job. So we're going to see how well that paid off. So what I need you to do for me, Artemis,
Ooh.
is I need you to roll a D100 for me.
Oh, yes. Use the shiny ones. 53.
53. All right. And then we're going to add to that a bonus based on your attempts to sell this. Now we're going to do this bonus a little bit differently than how the DM's guide typically would adjudicate this. Could you make a persuasion check for me?
Ooh, heck'em yeah. Persuasion is +8, 27.
27. So we're going to add that to the 53, I think you said you got.
Yeah.
So that brings it all the way up to an 80 total, I believe, if I'm doing my math right.
There we are.
Yes.
Very well.
You rich son of a bitch.
On
Maybe.
on the
I did tell my brother to fuck off last time.
on the day of the 20th, when you first wake up in the morning, the hotel delivers a letter to you, and you open it up. There's money inside. It is not the full amount of what you used to get for your allowance, but it is an improvement. You get 200 talents.
What did he used to get?
The full amount of what he used to get, or what he got last time?
No, the full amount of what he used to get?
Artemis, is that information you would like to share with the group or no?
I'm just real nosy.
Hell no.
So 200 talents.
I mean, we wouldn't even know what he's getting paid
That's true.
as of right now, so
It was probably over 500.
probably.
You get 200 talents and a letter from your brother. It says, I knew you had it in you, brother dear. Oh, Artie, if only you had shown that much effort back at home. Perhaps you would be in a true position of nobility. But nevertheless, I do have to support good behavior, even if your attitude towards me is perhaps chillier than is called for. I've increased your allowance closer to what it used to be. Perhaps if you keep up the good work, you'll even get a raise. Your dear brother Dagrin.
I hate him.
I love him.
Well, great. We'll tuck it away in a drawer.
Okay.
That's his filing system. He's got a drawer.
He's not gonna burn it this time.
No, not this time. He's gonna stare at it for a long while.
Excellent. Okay, so on your day off, Nix, you're going to check out the area around the building. You're going to try to talk to people and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me, I guess, if you're talking to people around the building.
12.
12. Okay. Yeah, you spend a little bit of time walking around the building. With a 12, you don't get a whole lot of super useful information. Day 10 is most people's day off, so most of the people you see on the street in this area don't work in this area of the city. They're like walking to or from like interesting things to do on their days off. That being said, I will say that you do learn from somebody that the building to the left, Bloodkith corporate offices, is a general use office complex, meaning that multiple companies and businesses rent out parts of that building, but no one company controls the entire building to the left of the Bloodkith corporate offices. So, but you don't get much more interesting than that with a 12 persuasion.
Do I notice like where people are coming in and out of? If there's like a secret back entrance, like a staff only entrance where people
Bloodkith
take
corporate offices specifically, or
Yeah.
just the building does seem mostly empty, but you do see how long, like around what time do you arrive and how long do you hang around in the area?
I'm gonna say I bought my forgery kit on my day off too. So I went there probably in the morning and then walked to where Bloodkith is. So it's probably like I'll stick around for a few hours from like noon to 3.
2 to 3. Okay.
So not really prime time, but maybe a shift change for like maintenance.
Okay. Yeah, you do see very briefly, you see somebody leaving the building in like some dirty and stained like worker clothes with some overalls on, heading out of the back side of the building. There's like a small door around the back side of the building, like there's sort of an alley behind the building, right? With with trash pickup and that sort of thing. And sort of a guy in like, a stained shirt and overalls, putting a little cap on his head and pulling on a winter coat, it's a little threadbare. He doesn't look super wealthy, leaving the building out the backside. But you didn't see any activity going in and out the front.
No security changes.
As far as you saw.
And do I hear any troll-like noises coming from the building?
No, you do.
Okay.
Are trolls nocturnal?
This one is.
Maybe.
Who knows? I do, but you don't. Anyway, okay. And then Artemis and Bowman are going at night that day. So the two of you meet up and you begin wandering around the outside. What specifically are, yes?
Bowman wanted to do a couple things before that.
Sure, go for it.
So immediately leaving Janara's, Bowman want to
So
check
rewinding to the 18th.
Yes.
Okay.
Bowman wanted to check on Stu, who was sick that day.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you find your acquaintance or friend. I don't know how Bowman would describe him.
Closest thing to a friend.
The closest thing he has to a friend. He's staying in like kind of a pretty shitty tenement style housing, as a lot of the people do. But you're let in through this like these crowded hallways into literally some of the quote unquote apartments in this tenement are literally just like hallways that people have like shoved beds into. And so it's difficult for you to get by in a few places, especially with your larger frame. But you do eventually find where Stu is sort of holed up, which is as you enter, you think this room was probably a closet at some point. But Stu has shoved a bed into it. You see it peeking out from underneath the bed is sort of a chest and you see like a shirt sleeve hanging out of the chest, and he's got like a small like there's sort of a communal kitchen on this floor that several of the apartments share, but he's got like a very small shelving unit on which he shoved like some really beat up like metal dishes, and Stu is sort of is sitting on his bed, and he's got sort of like a wet cloth across the back of his neck, and he's coughing again when you come in, just and he spits into a chamber pot, and you see blood again. Bowman, what brings you here?
I came to check on you. Was worried that you may have not gotten any better. It seems like you're not doing much better than earlier.
Well, I mean, only been a couple hours since I saw you last.
And Bowman's gonna walk in, shut the door behind him. Just get some rest. Maybe I could, I don't know, take a cold cloth and rub your back, maybe to relax you to sleep.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Sorry. I'm trying to do something very sneakily.
No, I think I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Ooh, my God. Why is my persuasion so high? That was a non-natural 20.
Because you're a paladin.
Yes.
That's why your persuasion's so high.
Bowman is a very coarse person, though.
That's true.
That was a non-nat 20.
Okay. That might be kind of nice. Thanks, man.
All right. So he's going to place, Bowman's going to place his hand, with a cloth and do lay on hands. Lay on hands.
Yeah, so he sort of turns and does this sort of thing in his pillow, and you very sneakily cast spend 5 points of lay on hands, which cures diseases.
Yes.
as you do so, his breathing immediately starts getting steadier. He's like, oh my god. Bowman. Thanks. I guess I just needed. I don't know. I feel a lot better.
Well, good, because I was kind of tired of carrying your weight and everything, and Darnick is not really, big enough. You're the, the second biggest person there, so next to me, of course.
Are you getting my cough now?
No, it's just allergies in the middle of winter. Snow pollen.
Thanks, Bowman. I don't know why, but I do feel a lot better.
Good. Then he's just gonna go home and then work the next day.
Home.
Yes, home. He's gonna go home, work the next day, and then after work on the 19th, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna go find Artemis. And so, because he knows where you live now, Artemis, I have a plan for us. I have a plan for our day of fun.
Who is it? Sorry.
This is probably like very early in the morning because Bowman is.
I just went to bed.
Yeah. It's late in the evening. We need to find snacks.
Late in the evening? Artemis isn't home.
Oh, right. That's right.
You show up at a hotel inquiring about Artemis, and they're like, yes, Master Brightshield often spends his evenings involved in revelries of sorts.
Where is this bar called Reverie?
No, never mind. He doesn't always, he doesn't tell us at the front desk where he's going every evening when he heads out. But he has many an evening spoken of some of his favorite bars and taverns. I think his particular favorite is the Yawning Portal.
Thank you very much. I'll go check it out.
Of course, happy to provide you with the information.
Bowman's just going to slowly place his gigantic hand on this person. Thank you very much.
Have a good day, sir.
So Bowman's gonna go to the Yawning Portal.
Yes, you make your way there. Artemis, do you think you're at that bar, or do you think you're somewhere else?
Probably. He's been spending the last couple of days, being fabulous.
Sure.
And making sure everyone has a good time. In general, during the day, he has been trying out a couple new bars and taverns, again, promoting Brightshield Vintage where possible. But find one and just kind of sit and listen for a little bit, specifically listening for stories of adventurers or heroes from the last few years. Because he's noticed something.
Sure.
He's got a hunch.
Make a perception check.
Oh, I should have my perception pulled up. That is going to be math, 16.
16. Yeah, nearly the only adventurers that most anybody seems to know about are the Last Adventurers, a very famous adventuring party, Waterdeep based, though
Sure.
They are rarely in the city. They are called the last adventurers because, of course, adventurers are a extremely rare breed of of person in the modern day and age. With industrialization, mechanization, all that good stuff, adventurers are much less common than they used to be.
Do I find the reason for that is the technological advancements and not like policy or anything?
Make a history check for me.
Ooh. Ooh. All right. Let me say ooh one more time. 18.
Not bad. It's not a specific, there's no specific anti-adventurer policy, though obviously as laws and regulations have become more codified, becoming an adventurer whose lifestyle is all about, shirking rules and regulations is harder, certainly, than it used to be. But there's no specific anti-adventurer policy. But you do know with an 18 in history that adventurers becoming less common is not only because of increased industrialization and mechanization, but also because of the foundation of the Sword Coast Federation, period. Hundreds of years ago, the Sword Coast went through a period of several years in which a number of cataclysmic, possibly world-ending events happened in very close, like very shortly after each other. And this is after a bunch of other similar time periods where a bunch of crazy shit happened within a very short time period. But in particular, there was a period of time in the late 1400s DR, Dale Reckoning, which is the dating system that that's used in the Sword Coast. In the late 1400s DR, there was a period of time where, over the course of several years, multiple possibly world-ending cataclysms occurred. And the only thing that stopped any of those cataclysms were, by sheer luck, the intervention of adventurers. I would say with an 18, you don't know enough to know specifically what some of those cataclysms were. But you do know that out of this very turbulent time period, the leaders of the Sword Coast, which at the time was divided up into a bunch of city-states, many of the leaders of the Sword Coast who had been in an informal coalition with each other at the time decided that, hey, next time we may not be so lucky to have adventurers come in and save the world. What if instead we formed a powerful, unified nation state and built a real army that could handle this shit when it comes up? And so over, an extremely long period of time, again, that was the late 1400s DR, and it's now the late 1900s DR. Mm-hmm. It's almost the year 2000 DR. Over an extremely long period of time, adventurers became less and less common because the Sword Coast Federation, which was the government that came out of this, had more mechanisms in place for handling shit when it came up.
Got it.
I didn't have to rely on adventurers all the time. But anyway, to loop back around to what your original perception check was looking for. So the last adventurers are the only really well-known adventuring party for most people in Waterdeep. And among certain circles, I would say particularly middle class and upper class people, it is known that two of the last adventurers are married to each other and have a very, very fine manor estate. The Darlings have a very, very fine manor estate in the Seaward, which you've been there, and that they have a daughter that will sometimes do favors in the name of her parents for people if you're able to plead your case well enough. Though, make an insight check for me.
Ooh. 12.
12. So you don't get you don't really get a sense of how likely it is that this daughter, Janara, is to actually do these favors, but it is known that that some people have asked her for favors because she's related to her parents. So
No.
that's sort of what Artemis is doing during the day, but at night he does retire to the Yawning Portal.
Yeah, going back to his old haunts, rousing the folks, helping them forget about their troubles. Probably in the midst of one of his top songs right now, The Waterdeep Man.
Great. Yes, so Bowman, you enter the Yawning Portal. Bowman, I think this is probably your first time visiting this establishment. It is right at the border of 3 different wards of the city: the Castle Ward, the Trades Ward, and the Dock Ward where you live. So because of its location, it does have customers from many different walks of life in there at any one time. But as you enter this bar, it's a 3-story establishment, though as you enter, looking up, the 2nd and 3rd floors, which are, have open balconies to the 1st floor, are dark. There's nobody up there. There's no sound coming from up there. 1st floor is brightly lit, though, and bustling with all sorts of different people. There's many, many different tables, and there's a very, very long bar and lots of drinks. And in the center of the room is a section of floor that is a different from the rest of the floor. Most of the rest of the floor is, hardwood, and the center of the room is brick. There's a circular section of brick in the very center of the room, and standing in that area, performing a song for the residents of the bar, who are cheering and laughing and dancing and drinking and clapping along with the music, and is Artemis performing a song for this crowd, who I think at this time of the evening is probably lower middle class and poor folks. I would say there's probably very few wealthy folks in this tavern at this time of the evening, except Artemis.
Bowman walks in and he's gonna let Artemis finish his song because he doesn't want to be rude and interrupt.
Sure. Great. Artemis, just for the hell of it, make a performance check for me.
Oh man, 2 with a 10.
It's not bad. It's not your best work though.
Yeah.
The audience.
We've been drinking.
You've been drinking. The audience doesn't seem to care as much. Bowman, you've actually heard Artemis sing several times, and you can tell he's a little off his game, probably from drinking. But still, the people in the bar seem to be having a good time. Artemis seems to be having a good time.
Great time.
Bowman's gonna approach Artemis and just say, "Artemis, there you are. Found you. This is the 5th bar I've walked into. They don't really map these out very well."
No, you just kind of stumble from one to the other. Here, I'll get you something.
No, wait. I would.
Get him a drink.
Great. Yeah, you go up to the bar. you
He
get
seems
Bowman
like
a
an
drink.
ale person. I don't agree, but give him an ale.
Great.
Thanks. Chucks it back. Anyways, we need. Okay, whatever.
Are you okay?
I trust you, and I want to.
Oh my god, it's happening.
I want to go see Snacks. You know that
They
person.
have like peanuts at the bar.
No. But maybe later. No. Freedom mentioned Snacks has probably can help us with some magical black markets.
Oh,
What-
yeah,
what-
sure.
What's with your nose?
I've seen someone do it before. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, we can totally handle that right now.
Yeah, no, let's totally do it. But first, can I get a shot of whiskey here? Just pay for a shot.
2.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, you get a couple shots of whiskey. I'll count that as part of your, weekly living expenses. So, because we don't necessarily need to go to the minutia of what a single shot of whiskey costs. But you knock back a couple. You each knock back a shot of whiskey. Are you going to look for a snack right now?
Yes.
This evening? Great.
Yes.
Great.
I love this color on you, Bowman. Let's go.
Great. Yeah, you head out towards the Undercliff Ward, where to the address with the letter of introduction that Freedom provided you. Yes, you eventually arrive to the address, which is a pawn shop called the Dusty Antique. The Dusty Antique is a pretty rundown building. The windows, at the front edifice are very like foggy with just they're dirty and grimy. It's kind of hard to see through them. It's also kind of hard to see through them because the shop is dark. The shop is closed. It's night. But there is a second floor above the shop, so that would lead you to believe that the owner might live in an apartment above.
I guess Bowman's gonna investigate, see if he can find like stairs, like a separate stairs going up on the outside.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Investigation, that was a 14.
You don't find any stairs on the exterior of the building.
Doing here.
Well, we could go through the window. If we can probably open it up or something.
What time is it?
How long would it take us to get from the there?
I mean, it's not like, I don't know, I'd say probably 10 o'clock at this point.
Okay.
By the time you found Artemis and then made it across town to here.
Bowman's just gonna knock on the door. We'll pound on the door.
Okay.
And just see if anything happens.
Yeah. Roll an athletics check to see how loudly you can knock on the door without breaking it.
As an 18.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. A really solid noise. Somebody on the street that's walking by, a little tipsy, just, oh, Jesus. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Keeps walking by, brown paper bag, whole deal. Eventually, there's noise inside. Door opens, just a crack. You hear like chain of a lock on the door, like catches the door opens, just a crack. And you have to look down to see a a glowing yellow eye peeking out from the crowd. All right, who the who in the nine hells is bothering me at this time of night?
Oop.
Oh no, we lost Artemis.
Oh no! What is Bowman gonna do? Join us
Artemis
next
is
time
playing
on the Gilded City.
Aw.
Should we wait?
No, we'll keep going. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue, so it might take him a minute to get that fixed. But go ahead and say what you would have said.
I would have said we're looking for a fellow by the name Snacks.
Yeah, you're looking at Snack. There's no S at the end. It's just Snack, singular.
Oh, sorry.
Now
Snack.
What can I? Yeah, you're looking at it. What can I do for you?
We heard that you are good at procuring magical items or enchanting, possibly.
Well, I don't know who told you that, because that's illegal without a license. And I, of course, I don't have that kind of license. You see my shop?
Bowman's going to show him the letter of introduction from
Kinda like-
Freedom.
Pass a little letter of introduction to the crack. Opens it up. Takes a second. All right, you freedoms. Tell me before she sends people down here. Yeah, all right, stand back. Close the door. You hear several locks getting undone. Then door opens. All right, come inside. Quickly. Get off the street, both you. Oh, God, rich guy with you, really? All right. Closes the door behind you, locks, multiple locks. You see a goblin individual, a goblin gentleman in front of you. He looks he looks pretty old. Sort of hunched over. He's got his hair is short and gray. He's got a very, very thick pair of glasses on. He's got glowing yellow eyes behind these thick glasses, standard like goblin type eyes. And because technically, I know in the Forgotten Realms, goblins don't have green skin, but that seems crazy to me. So he's got green skin. And as you glance about his shop, the Dusty Antique, you see just the whole room is filled with like tables and shelves, sort of buckling under the weight of many just. I mean, it looks like a bunch of garbage, right? But it's a bunch of antiques laid out on tables and shelves throughout the room. But he sort of, all right, follow me. And he leads you around to the back where there's sort of a counter. And the counter's too tall for him, but he goes behind it, and then you hear him climbing up something, and suddenly he's back. He's at the correct height to speak with both of you over the counter. So, Freedom found a bunch of new people for a little idealistic crusade, huh?
I guess so.
All right, well, look at you. All right. Because you're friends of Freedom, I will trust you enough to not cause me any trouble. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna just sell you or give away my special products willy-nilly, all right? And he sort of like is sort of like gesturing at you with the letter of introduction like in his hand. Look, you may have done whatever you need to do to prove yourselves worth Freedom's time, but that doesn't mean you're worth my time, okay? I gotta make sure that the people I'm giving my shit to aren't gonna use it to fuck me over. Or fuck the other people, frankly, fuck the other people in this ward over, okay? We got enough problems as is.
Bowman, I don't think he likes us.
What are you talking about? I think he loves
I
us.
can hear you.
Oh,
See these? My ears are longer and pointier than yours, elf boy.
sorry. I cast message to Bowman. What are you looking for here?
Bowman's gonna go, Artemis, we're right here. You don't need to talk to me in my head.
All right.
What are we looking for here?
Look. I'm not saying I won't sell you shit. It's just there's a lot going on, and I feel a lot better if you two, anybody else with you know, prove yourselves to me, okay? Like, I don't know you. Why am I trusting you?
What do you suggest that we do to prove anything?
Well, you look pretty strong, and he looks...
Fabulous. Fantastic.
Well,
Beautiful.
you look
charming.
pretty strong. Maybe you can help out with a little problem we've been having around here.
Not
Me-
much of a problem solver.
Well, this might be a problem you might be suited for. Me and some of my, here in the Undercliff Ward, what ward do you guys live in?
Dock ward.
Yes.
Right. Dock ward. Well, over the dock ward, I know you got, organized crime syndicates kind of running the show around there. I heard the Dockside Daggers is sort of run pretty much all the criminal enterprises in that part of town.
Yeah, they haven't bothered me too much personally. But then again, I don't really carry anything they would want.
Well, in the Undercliff Ward, it's all about independent business, all right? There's no organized crime here. We all leave each other alone and let ourselves do our things. There's no, overarching criminal, syndicate shit like they got, over in other parts of the city. We all kind of do our own thing. Recently, there's been this real fucking asshole. He calls himself the Brute. Name's Arnold Hathaway. He's been
Hathaway.
he's been sort of causing trouble for a lot of the businesses around here, trying to get them to work for him. And at first, everybody just fucking laughed it off because, yeah, fucking right, dude. We do our own thing around here. This isn't, we ain't the Dock Ward. We ain't the South Ward. And you're not Vinny. You don't get to roll up into somebody else's business and tell them what to do.
Yeah.
But then people who told him no, they weren't gonna submit to his rule, found their businesses raided by the cops. Checked out.
Huh.
And so suddenly people started paying tribute to this fucking asshole, who, frankly, he's clearly in this for personal power, right? A lot of us in this part of town, we're in it because for various reasons, but mostly, we're just kind of in it for just to make sure we can make it, this guy, he's all about abusing his position and his power and stuff. Anyway, he's been causing all sorts of trouble, and to be honest with you, I did something that Freedom would be kind of mad at me about, but I didn't know what else I was supposed to do. Freedom wasn't around here, and Freedom, and I couldn't ask Freedom to get the Dockside Daggers involved. And even if I could, I don't fucking want Vinny and his folks in this part of town. You need to stay over in their part of town.
Yeah,
Artemis
they are.
sits down on the floor and is just.
They are fucking assholes. Those daggers. Well,
So anyway, Hathaway came by. He knew I made magic shit. He wanted something, and I said no. And then he roughed me up a little and threatened to tell the police about me. And the rumors of what happens to magically inclined folks get reported to the cops are pretty scary. Watchful order, I hear, is none too pleasant. So I made him I enchanted Hathaway's a pair of brass knuckles. And way I hear it, he's become even more threatening since then. I know Freedom has these big plans of taking down the ruling class of the city or whatever, and obviously that'd be great. But there's enough shit going on here at the low level too. Look, if you and your friends can show me that you care enough about this corner of the city, then by removing Hathaway, I will be obliged and would be happy to make friends enchanted items or sell you enchanted items that I've already.
Well, this guy does seem like an asshole. I'm fine with killing him.
Well, if that's something you're willing to look into, he operates out of a bar called the Laughing Manticore. Gambling den on the bars on the first floor, gambling den and an illegal fight pit underneath.
Nice.
What I hear.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Are we gonna go there next?
Oh, if we have time.
Okay. Everything's spinning. I don't usually have whiskey.
This guy's pretty dangerous. Your friend over here looks like he's maybe a few too many drinks in it, and
I got it. Don't worry
And
about me, buckaroo.
and honestly, he don't look like real good backup. So I don't know. I just be careful if you do try to go against him. But if you're successful, I and the rest of the independent folks here in this part of town will be in the debt.
Maybe we will not do this tonight, but you have my word, we'll take care of him.
Well, I was about to fucking go to bed before you two started pounding on my door. So if you could show yourselves out, I'd be much appreciated.
All right, well, I guess that's all we can do today, Artemis. Let's go somewhere else.
Yes, please. Good night.
Night, snacks.
Salutations.
Night,
Bye.
pretty boy.
Then we
Bowman,
walk out. What?
I don't remember. Where are we going? What's
You
next?
you seem like you're pretty wasted. Let's get you back to your apartment.
I'm good, but I'm holding on to Bowman.
Bowman's gonna just kind of throw him over his shoulder and just walk back to the Maiden's Gaze.
Yeah, it takes quite a while to get there from this part of town, but you do eventually make it to the Sword Maiden's Gaze. Back to Artemis's room.
Great. This is my bed, although I could take the couch if you want.
I'll just sit on the couch. Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Great. Yeah, you two call it a night. So I know the next day was the day the two of you were going to scout out the area, but in the evening, was there anything else either of you wanted to do before you went looking around the Bloodkith textile offices at night?
Nope.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have both of you then, or both of you can make an investigation check, or one of you can make an investigation check with advantage when you go to that area of the city the next evening.
Do you have any bonuses for investigation?
I got +3.
All right, I got no bonuses, so you can just
All right.
advantage.
16.
16. All right. Yeah, you look around for a little while. Yeah, you'll learn a couple things. The building to the left of Bloodkith corporate offices, which I already told Nix, but this is a general use office complex with multiple smaller companies and businesses renting out parts of the building for their offices. Sorry, real close to the camera there for a second.
It was nice.
So renting out parts of the building for their individual offices. And so because of that, lots and lots of different people move in and out of that building on any given day. This building is taller than the Bloodkith corporate offices building.
By about how much?
2 stories.
Okay.
And then there's about there's like a 15-foot gap in between the 2 buildings for access to behind those buildings, sort of an alley. To the right of the Bloodkith corporate offices is an office building which it takes you a little while to figure out what the deal is with this building going around the outside, but this is the building of a lobbyist firm representing the powerful Lumberers Guild with the government of the city of Waterdeep. You just walking around, the 2 of you walking around in this part of town, do notice there are quite a few police officers patrolling this part of the city. None of them give you particularly too much of a look because Artemis, again, you're wealthy. So while Bowman on his own, being a poorer individual, might draw a few gazes, especially in this part of town, especially at night. Because he's with you, Artemis, nobody seems to pay you too much mind, but you do note that there's a decent police presence in this part of the city. Around the back of the building is a back entrance to the corporate offices, as well as a loading dock area.
That's something we gotta check out.
Obviously closed and shuttered for the evening, but that's the backside of the building. That's general area around the building, but if either of you have any specific things you would be looking for or questions you would like to ask, feel free. I may call for additional rolls based on the questions, but
do we notice any lights on in the building at night, or is it all just...
Make a perception check.
Perception 15.
You notice 1 or 2 lights on in like the back side of the first floor. No lights on anywhere else that you can tell.
Artemis. Artemis.
Yeah.
How would you? What? Do you think it might be a good idea if I cast invisibility and start scaling the side of the building to investigate a little bit more?
Can you climb that high?
I don't know.
I mean, sure. If you start to fall, don't be invisible anymore.
And you?
Do you want me to come with you?
If we both
Yes,
fall.
I will catch you.
Oh,
Don't look
okay.
so surprised.
Okay, I just have like 200 pounds on you.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so
Yeah, let's go around back and see if we can scale some walls.
let's do it. I'm gonna cast invisibility.
I will also cast invisibility.
Right. All right. The 2 of you are trying
Some
to.
invisible boys.
Yeah. If the 2 of if the invisible boys are trying to scale the exterior of the building, I am going to need athletics checks from both of you. There is a.
Bowman, don't get too far away from me.
There is an old there's like there is a fire escape mechanism on the outside of the building, but you do have to climb up like a full story before you can get there because the ladder is all the way up. So athletics checks from both of you.
How bad would it be if I rolled with disadvantage of me holding on to Artemis?
Well, you both went invisible, and unless Artemis would is that something Artemis would just
Get off. I've got this. Don't worry.
Okay.
so just roll a straight athletics check.
Artemis is 13.
13.
21.
21. You only
Almost
have to,
as good as me.
yeah, you only have to climb up about 10-15 feet. 13 will be good enough, though. Artemis, you are panting by the time you 2 clamber up onto the fire escape.
Oh, make it stop.
Artemis, quiet.
Sorry.
Make it stop. Are the 2 of you continuing upward?
Yeah, just peering into windows.
Great,
and,
yeah.
We want to get in?
Maybe not in, but just kind of seeing what's in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have both of you make perception checks for me as you peer into windows, making your way up to the top of the building.
This can only go well.
17.
Nice.
10?
Artemis, you don't notice anything. It's
Oh,
6.
6.
Oh, you really don't notice anything. Yeah, you like peer through.
Sweat in my eye.
Peering through the windows, but you're too tired. You're complaining. You're having a hard time focusing. Bowman, you do peer into some of the windows. So yeah, you're up on the 2nd floor. Peering through the windows into the area back here. Fire escape. Back on this part of the building does seem to be in sort of a general hallway area, and nothing super of note to see there. But you continue up to the, it's just a hallway. You don't really see anything. A couple other doorways, but
There's a fire escape?
that's what you're on right now.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, that 13 wasn't going to get you to the top of the building. That 13 got you onto the fire escape.
Just straight up Spider-Man, just like.
Yeah. No. Right. But you continue up to the 3rd floor of the building, peering through the windows. And Bowman, you do see a fancy office through the windows here. A large fancy office. Through the windows, with you see on one wall a large floor to ceiling, wall to wall shelving unit with books and little art pieces and that sort of thing, and a big desk. And you do spot a couple of well-preserved suits of antique armor on display in this office.
Okay, the window that I'm peering into is just a one big pane, or is it like I can like lift it up and then possibly go inside?
You believe there is a way to open this window because it's in line with the fire escape, and so basically if there were a fire,
right,
this would, somebody would be leaving out through that window. But with that being said, there's no obvious external mechanism. It might be a window that like pops up and out like at a diagonal, but you're not sure.
Okay.
Hicks could figure this out.
Not with a 17.
Yeah. Can I roll investigation to try to find where the locking mechanism is, or should I just leave it as is?
If you'd like, you can make an investigation check. It might get you a little bit more information.
I want to break it, the locking mechanism.
Do you want me to just get inside and then I can jam it or something?
Oh, I'm pretty sure you're good at jamming things.
Ooh.
Investigation, that would be a 19.
19. That's pretty good. Not quite good enough. You can't find you can't find where, what keeps the window open, where the crank is, all that stuff. So
Gotcha. Okay.
You can continue the rest of the way up to the roof if you would like, or you can call it.
Artemis, what do you feel like doing?
Let's
Going
check
to
out
up?
the roof. Yeah,
All right.
I'm good.
Great.
We still got invisibility for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, y'all still have a while. You make it up to the roof. You look around up there.
As we're going, as we are just two voices on the wind climbing the side of a building. I say, hey, out of curiosity, why do you have a dragon?
What?
In the pocket, inside of your jacket. You said it wasn't for me.
No. To remember a life that has been lost, I guess.
Like a friend?
Sure. A friend.
Does that
More
make
like-
sense?
Well, I guess I can trust you to an extent. I'm from Cormier.
Oh, well, me too. So, two Cormerian invisible guys climbing a staircase. You are still climbing, right? You're still behind me?
Oh, you think I'm behind you? Okay.
Oh, shit. Sorry. That's cool. Fun. There are a lot of us around that I've... Ow, sorry, tripped. There aren't a lot of us around that I've found.
No, the Sword Coast Federation did a good job at that.
Certainly did. All right, well, I was just curious, it's not really a symbol you see every day.
Not yet.
No?
And
I'll
Bowen's
just
just
leave
gonna,
it at that.
gonna walk on.
Yeah. You make it to the roof of the building. Looking around, you do find there does seem to be a roof access hatch, which goes somewhere inside the building. But it is locked.
Cool.
Well, good to know, just in case we need to make an escape.
Yeah, definitely. All right. There's just the one. Is there anything else on the roof? Places, balconies below?
Make a perception check.
12, I believe.
12. The only thing you really note is the Building to the right, which is the lobbyist firm, the roof is lower than the one that you're currently on.
About how many feet?
Probably about, I'd say probably a floor lower, so about 10 feet lower.
Got it.
Still a gap horizontally, but actually the alley on that side is not as wide as the alley on the other side of the taller building.
Good to know.
Think I can jump it?
I can. Sure. Yeah. I can jump it.
All right, we might need to. Just ask. Just
I wouldn't be worried. I'm a very athletic person. You should have seen me climbing this building. It's unfortunate I was invisible.
Yes. Unfortunately, your voice is not invisible as well.
I cast message. I'm inside your head. Wait, did that drop my invisibility? Oh no.
Actually, yeah, casting a spell does drop invisibility.
It is a cantrip.
It loses your concentration, though.
No, I mean, it's unless it's another concentration spell, he wouldn't lose concentration. But I believe casting a spell or attacking
breaks invisibility.
breaks invisibility.
Fuck.
I see you.
Invisibility.
Okay, you cast it again. Unless there's anything else the two of you would like to look for, this probably is going to wrap up what you can find around the exterior of the building.
Yeah, that's it.
Great.
Yeah. I guess the only last thing is I'm curious about the base. As we're leaving, are there any first floor or like ground, any basement like windows?
Make a perception or investigation check, your choice.
Pretty good. Have to flip back to my stats. Perception, investigation, perception. 21.
21. That's very good. Yeah, there are a couple. There's sort of, little some cutaways in the pavement around the back side. You do see, but they're very small windows. They're not those full-size windows. They're those, basement windows, right? Installed in the lower parts, just barely peeking above the ground level. But
while I'm invisible, I'll just press myself against them. Can I see anything into it?
make a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nice. You do peek in, and you do appear to be looking into a mech room of some sort.
Okay.
So
Good to know where windows are. All right.
Great.
Hold on.
Octavia, I believe you were looking into the janitor situation for the building.
Yeah, I would like to go into the newspaper office to do this.
Okay.
And speak with the staff there.
Great.
Because they're hired out. I want to know if they know, do they work in the other building? Do they work in the Bloodkith building?
Yes, go ahead. You can either, if you'd like, so based on what you roll will have an effect on what information you get.
Okay.
You can just do a normal investigation check, or you can do a persuasion check.
We're gonna do an investigation.
Okay.
16.
16. So you ask some questions to some of the janitorial staff at the newspaper. The newspaper actually, the newspaper, as you mentioned, does outsource janitorial work. You end up, but nobody really, you say a couple things to a few people, but nobody has necessarily that much useful stuff. But then you're like, wait a minute, I'm the daughter of the boss around here. Why am I going about it this way? And so you basically requisition files from the head of janitorial team here. So with that, you do learn that the company that cleans this building is is called Gelatinous Cube Cleaning and Clearing.
I love it.
So named for for an infamous monster, which is known to be pretty much the opposite of picky when it comes to what it digests. And so the image of the company is this like clear, this huge clear cube with like a broom and mop like propped up against it.
Marketing geniuses.
So with that,
Okay.
so with that, you learn the name of this company. You know they outsource out to other companies. You're not 100% sure if they outsource out to Bloodkith Textiles, but you do have an idea of what the uniform and logo looks like. So you could keep an eye out for when you go to Bloodkith Textiles.
Okay. Could I visit there on the 21st or go take a look?
Their main offices, yeah, you could if you'd like
and
to.
see if I see anybody wearing this gelatinous cube garb.
Yeah, yeah. On the 21st, you head over to their main offices in the city. Yeah, you see, a couple people are heading out. Would you head over there in the morning, or what time of day would you head over there?
Probably first thing.
Okay. Yeah, so you do see a few people leaving in the morning wearing sort of bluish like coveralls over their clothes with the little logo of the company embroidered onto it, heading out, and you see them like loading up onto company carriages, but not fancy carriages, but like company horse and wagon, and heading off to various parts of the city. So it looks like staff comes here in the morning, gets their assignments for the day, and then leaves to wherever they're heading for the day.
Okay.
I don't know if you wanted to go into the building and talk to anybody, but
No, were they wearing the like janitorial?
Yes. Yes, they were wearing these coveralls with that embroidery on it.
Okay, then I would like to go back to the newspaper office. Would I know if we have any like halflings on staff or like small staff?
Yeah, definitely.
And would any of them keep their uniforms at work? Would we would the newspaper provide like a locker room for them?
I'm just gonna steal one of
I'm
their.
gonna borrow one temporarily.
Yes, there is sort of a janitor's break room / locker room area. That being said, as I was saying, the company, it seems like most of the janitors go to the main like headquarters of the company in the morning and then depart from there to different buildings. So
was I not at Blood? I thought I was looking at the Bloodkith.
Oh, I
for
misunderstood what
Sorry,
you were
I didn't
asking.
communicate that well.
I'm sorry. You saw a few people arriving in that uniform at
Okay.
Bloodkith Textiles.
Great.
But
Then
yeah.
back to where we were.
Right. So back at the newspaper offices, there is sort of a break room for the janitorial staff, but the staff arrives from somewhere else in the morning, and it's often it's the same people, but it's sometimes different people.
Okay.
It's not always the same people coming every day. And you don't make an investigation check for me to see if you can find any spare uniforms that are the right size.
Ooh. Investigation. That's a 24.
It's pretty good. Yeah, you do find there is one locker that is unlocked that has a uniform in it for someone on the shorter side.
Okay. I'm just gonna take it
Okay.
and tuck it into my bag.
Is it clean?
If it's not clean, I'll go get it clean.
Great.
And I'll bring it to the meeting that we have this evening.
Great. Unless anybody has anything, does anybody have anything else? I guess I should say.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Ovina Bloodkith, would we know just with like a general history check about how old she would be?
Make a history
And
check.
also who was the head of the textile industry before her?
Yeah, make a history check.
Would I know that?
Make a history check as well.
I got 9.
9.
I got an
You
18.
do not know that. An 18. Yeah, Nix, I would say you've probably started looking into this a little bit more.
It's in the training manual.
There's a whole
Yeah.
night of just Ovina
Yep.
trivia.
Yes, the company was formerly, the former CEO of the company was Ovina's father, Dworic Bloodkith. Dworic Bloodkith was in charge of the company until about 20 years ago, when he retired, and the board of directors of the company unanimously voted to make his daughter the next CEO of the company. She had previously been vice president of finance.
Do we know about how old?
Yes, Ovina is about 165 years old.
That means nothing to me. What is that in people years? Is
What
that
is-
mid-20s, 30s, 40s?
Let me double check.
Let me
So
get
I
the-
think it's hundreds plus.
I think that's pretty young.
well, you
Let me
know.
get my elf to human age converter.
Yeah. So dwarves typically live 400 to 500 years. So 165 isn't young, but in human terms would probably be the equivalent of mid-30s.
Okay. Do we know if she's married or has kids?
She is neither married nor has kids, but has a very large family, many of whom are also in important positions in the company.
And then last thing, the name that you said where the HQ used to be.
The city of Mirabar. Mirabar is a make a history check.
I have like shitty rolls.
I'm sorry, what'd you get?
It happens.
8.
8. Mirabar is a city. It's a real old city. You know there's a large dwarf population there.
Okay.
Don't get much else for an 8.
Okay. All right.
Great. Anything else from anybody? Okay. So that evening, you all get together to share what you learned and plan for tomorrow when Octavia is going to go in and interview Ovina. But with that, we're going to end here. Next time, you can begin by plotting what the next moves are for the group. So thank you all very much for playing. And thank you all for watching. Got some good information gathering this time. Probably going to be some more information gathering next time, it looks like. But
We are
Fight a
sleuthing.
troll.
you
Fight a troll.
are sleuthing very, very well.
We
So
are looking under all of the rocks.
that's right.
Bowman's
Um,
gonna beat up Anne Hathaway.
No, Anne Hathaway, if you're watching this, none of us have any interest in beating you up.
No,
You're
I love
amazing.
you.
We would love it if you would shout out this show. Honestly, it would be great.
Or, you know, join us eventually.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
hey,
great.
yeah, Anne
Or-
Hathaway, if you want to make a
Cameo.
guest appearance on our D&D show, that'd be
Oh.
great.
If
Are we
anybody
talking
knows
about-
Anne Hathaway?
What's our paying rate for guests on the show?
I mean,
15 million.
I know my salary's pretty high, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
From the show or from your job?
Appearance.
Oh, from the show.
Sam's the
Oh.
only one making money.
Sam's the only one getting paid. That's right.
How'd you manage that, dude?
I know the CEO.
Don't we all?
No.
I
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
Well, with this revelation that Sam is making apparently money,
person on the show.
the only paid person on the show, we'll go ahead and call it for the night. Thanks for watching as always. Please do all those things that you would do, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell on YouTube, you know, share with people, follow the podcast, leave a rating, follow us on social media, links down below, or if you're listening to the podcast, at Rollers Guild D&D on both Instagram and Twitter, so you can keep up to date with the show and what's going on with us. But thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.